So Samsung has been on an absolute tear recently, trying to flood the market with truly wireless earbuds and trying to make up some ground with Apple. We got the Galaxy Buds in 2019, the Buds Plus and Buds Live in 2020, and once again, Samsung is not wasting any time in 2021, and here we are with the Galaxy Buds Pro, priced at $199. And despite the Pro moniker, the Buds Pro only retailed for $30 more than the Galaxy Buds Live did at launch. So now the question is Samsung hooking us up at this price, or are they only marginally better than the Galaxy Buds Live? Well, we'll definitely be answering that question a little bit further down the line, but today we're going to be taking a look at my Galaxy Buds Pro first impressions. What's going on, folks? Welcome to today's Tech with Lando, where I bring you a brand new perspective on your favorite pieces of tech. And today, let's jump right into the Galaxy Buds Pro. Stay tuned. So the Buds Pro are hot off the press, literally just announced a little over a week ago. Samsung's on a new kick where they released the wearables they announced pretty much right away. So I picked up a pair in Phantom Black, which looks super nice. It's a matte black finish on the case. Same case as the Buds Live, essentially. It just has a little bit stronger magnets. Then it's a combination of matte and this reflective finish on the buds themselves. And you can see that it's clearly a different shape from any of the previous Galaxy Buds. And although they do still have the stem design we saw with the Buds and Buds Plus, they're actually much more comfortable this time, and they got rid of the wingtip. I can wear the Buds Pro for 3 to 4 hours with pretty much no ear fatigue, and the buds stay put. We saw Samsung kind of start experimenting with earbud designs with the Buds Live, aka Galaxy Beans, and it seems like this is the culmination of all that testing. And they did a very good job. They're very comfortable. They create a nice seal when you choose the right ear tips, that is, and that's how features like active noise cancellation are able to work effectively. There's 2 more sets of ear tips in this little box, so make sure you're getting a good seal, and after that, they're ready to go. So the Galaxy Buds Pro usher in a lot of enhancements. You can tell Samsung is really trying to make do on the Pro name, and so right off the bat, Samsung says they were inspired by premium speakers. So the Galaxy Buds Pro feature legit 2-way speakers tuned by AKG. There's an 11mm woofer for the lows and a 6.5mm tweeter for the highs. And Samsung was actually able to condense these components into this itty-bitty frame, something you won't find on the AirPods Pro, as Samsung made clear during the unveiling. But so far, they sound really good. The bass is very rich, the highs sound crystal clear, even at full volume. And when you're listening to the Buds Pro side by side with the Buds Live, it's clear to me at least that the bass and the audio are coming from 2 different sources, and you get a much fuller and more complete listening experience when you're listening to music or listening to a podcast. Now, just like we saw with the AirPods Pro, we get Dolby Atmos support with Dolby head tracking, which kind of creates like a 360-degree audio surround sound feel. But to experience that, you do have to be connected to a device running One UI 3.1, which is currently only the S21 series. So it'll be maybe a week more before you guys get my opinion on the Dolby Atmos support. But I expect this feature to be pretty dope for those moments when you're catching up on a TV show or movie or whatever. So definitely a very welcomed addition. Now, Samsung is trying to take active noise control to an entirely new level. So similar to how it worked on the Galaxy Buds Plus and the Buds Live, there's an outer mic to focus on any ambient noise, and then also an inner mic to focus on noise coming from the inside of your ear in addition to the voice pickup unit. Except the Galaxy Buds Pro are verified to block out 99% of background noise at 118 Hz as opposed to the 172 of the Buds Live, meaning the Buds Pro block out more noise and do so at a lesser volume. And so Samsung developed what they call intelligent active noise control. Basically, how it works is when you have active noise canceling on, the Buds Pro use a mic and a vibration sensor to confirm that you've started speaking, and then they automatically engage ambient mode so that you can actually hear the person that you're speaking to. So in the Galaxy Wearables app, there's a setting called Voice Detect, and you can set a timer for the buds to return to canceling active noise after you're done speaking. But also when you have ambient mode on, if you make a loud noise like clapping, for example, you'll notice that the volume gets adjusted and it comes down just a little bit to make that noise a little bit less noticeable. So voice detect is an excellent feature. It's been working well for me so far. I was a little bit worried about how it would actually work and if it would be, inadvertently engaged from someone else speaking, but no, I haven't had that happen yet, and it's been working almost flawlessly. And it definitely makes it so that you don't have to reach for your ear as often or take a bud out as often when you're trying to talk to someone, which is something you have to do with pretty much almost every other pair of truly wireless earbuds on the market, unless you already have ambient or transparency mode already turned on. But what's dope is if you do take one bud out, the Buds Pro automatically engage ambient mode on the bud that's still in your ear, so you can hear it much better. And then as soon as you put your other bud back in, ANC turns back on, or ambient mode just turns back off if ANC wasn't on to begin with. So clearly Samsung has really been putting in work and stepped up their software game with the Buds Pro, and so far I would say that they're well deserving of the Pro moniker. And keep in mind, Samsung's active noise cancellation is designed to block out low frequency noises like in AC or traffic or even mechanical keyboard clicks, but still allow you to hear high frequency noises like voices or announcements or a doorbell even. So they don't want you to be entirely tuned out to where you could miss your bus or train stop, but tuned out just enough to feel like you're in your own little cocoon of audio. And of course, ambient mode is back and better, this time boosting ambient sound by up to 20 decibels, spaced over 4 volume levels. So at the lower levels, white noise is almost non-existent, but as soon as you set it to high, it definitely becomes a little bit more noticeable. But overall though, the amount of white noise at the extra high volume level is much less noticeable than it was on the Buds Plus or the Buds Live, thanks to the high SNR mics that minimize the sound coming from the mic itself. But it also just sounds like they've done a good amount of fine tuning. Hearing your own voice isn't jarring, and you can actually hold a conversation with ambient mode on, something I wouldn't have even tried on the Buds Live or Buds Plus. Now, the one thing for me that has always been, I think, an area of opportunity with the Galaxy Buds line has been the call quality. So just like the Buds Live, the Buds Pro feature 3 total microphones, 2 beamforming outer mics and 1 inner mic in addition to a voice pickup unit. But the Buds Pro take it a step further, and again, the outer mics are high SNR mics, which means there's minimal sound coming from the mic itself, adding distortion to the audio. And on top of that, Samsung basically added a windshield to help reduce wind noise even more. But so far, I've actually gotten a few more complaints than I normally did with the Buds Live. And there's been 1 update so far, but I would expect several more to really get the system fine-tuned just a little bit more and get it in tip-top shape. In my experience, the Buds Plus and the Buds Live struggled at first, but were able to continue to get better as the updates trickled in. I think the initial complaint for me has always been that it sounded like it was sending through the background noise while minimizing my voice. But again, I expect to see that resolved with a few more updates. Now, really quick, I want to mention that the new IPX7 water resistance rating technically allows for immersion in up to 1 meter of water. Both the Buds Plus and the Buds Live were only IPX2 rated, which means they were only good for light sweating during a workout or maybe even a light drizzle. So again, more evidence that Samsung really put a lot into making the Pro version of the Galaxy Buds actually Pro quality. SmartThings Find is also a very welcome feature. If you're not familiar, SmartThings Find will use GPS, Bluetooth Low Energy, and ultra wideband technology to help you locate your buds, and it works for each bud instead of the case. So it's actually good for if you've lost them when you're out and about, and for if you just misplaced them in the couch. Even the Bixby experience has been enhanced. So in addition to being able to control your phone or your buds with your voice, now as soon as you say, you can start speaking your command without waiting for an audible cue. So just one of those features that seems minor but has the propensity to improve the overall experience greatly. And last but not least, battery life. So battery life has been pretty solid across the Galaxy Buds lineup. For the most part, I've always been able to make it through my workday, but that was because I felt like the additional battery draining features like ambient mode weren't really good enough to warrant using them all the time. Well, so far, the battery life on the Buds Pro is pretty on par with the Buds Live. I can easily make it through the day with ANC off, but with ANC and voice detect and Bixby voice wake up on, the Buds Pro only lasts about 4 hours for me, which The good news in that is that only 10 minutes of charge gets you over an hour of playback, so the Buds Pro can certainly be all-day earbuds, obviously depending on your specific usage. Okay, so clearly some very intense engineering went into creating the Galaxy Buds Pro, from the hardware to the software. We're getting an improved design, improved microphones, improved active noise canceling, improved water resistance, while adding new features like Dolby Atmos and voice detect. Usually when we see a company add Pro to a product's name, it's usually debatable as to whether the product is actually deserving of the name. And in this case, given all of the enhancements over both pair of buds released in 2020, and when you compare the feature set to that of other wireless earbuds in the market, I think it's evident that the Galaxy Buds Pro are worthy of the Pro moniker, and the $200 price tag makes them a bit more affordable than the other Pro earbuds on the market. I'm looking at you, Apple. So let me know, do you plan on getting the Buds Pro, and if so, which color? Phantom Silver or Phantom Black? I actually went with Phantom Silver for my personal pair to pair with my Phantom Silver S21 Ultra, which will be coming in next week. So definitely keep an eye out for some content on that guy. But yeah, let me know which color. Alrighty guys, thank you so much for supporting the channel by sticking around until the very end. I really appreciate it. If you found my perspective interesting or informative, then you gotta go smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you guys can be the first to know when I'm bringing a brand new perspective to your favorite pieces of tech. Alrighty guys, be safe out there. Peace and love.